21st century, education is very important. I want him to share with us what his ideas are and what are some of the things that he's going to be looking out for to ensure that we have a more robust education system. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. First Deputy Speaker and Chair of the committee, leadership of the committee, and Honorable Minority Leader, members of the Appointment Committee, and colleagues who have had opportunity to come and solidarize. It's my honor and privilege to respond to the question posed by the just past Minister for Education on what President Mahama and the NDC intend to do with the education sector. Let me assure the Honorable former Minister that I conceive of education not just as a matter of human rights, but a powerful and key driver of development and one of the strongest instruments that can be used to reduce poverty, improve health, and ensure gender inequality. President John Dramani Mahama intends to increase investment in the education sector to respond to the infrastructure deficits of the education sector, beginning from preschool through basic primary education to free secondary school and to the tertiary level. Enormous financial investment will be made to continue with major initiative that was done. Chair, fortunately for me, this is a sector which has the best of expertise. I intend to rely on their varied experiences and expertise to guide me in the formulation of policy, the improvement of policy. But Mr. Speaker, let me assure this committee that President John Dramani Mahama has no option to cancel free senior high school. Therefore, those who listen to him, even in the course of his campaign, to have stated that he will expand free senior high school to private schools was to tell Ghanaians that as President of the Republic, he wants to give true meaning to Article 25 of the 1992 Constitution and Article 38, which spells out the objectives of our educational policy. But Chair, the important thing is that he will subject the free senior high school to a review. The review will mean subjecting it to, one, there will be a stakeholder national education forum to discuss the future and state of education in Ghana, with emphasis on the future of the free senior high school, in particular how to assure it of adequate, reliable, sustainable financing. Mr. Speaker, I do not want to, at this moment, stir controversy, but some of the numbers, Mr. Minister, as you may recall, I will validate some of the statistics to some statistical validation of those issues. So we will undertake a stakeholder forum which will involve donors and partners, involve academia, parents, and students to review the free senior high school program. I should acknowledge, as Pearl have noted, that it remains one of the boldest steps in wanting to transform education. It was a matter of debate between free universal education absorbing all the costs and progressively free starting with infrastructure. But President Mahama intends to undertake a comprehensive review of it to make it sustainable. Thank you.
You have a further question?
Yes, of course, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me indicate that we have two members, leadership of the subject matter committee, but the two of them will not ask questions. One will pose all the questions. Ahead with your question.
Honorable Chair, I'm grateful for the response from the nominee. Honorable Chair, beyond secondary education, which normally is the upper secondary, because by our statutes, we don't look at junior high as part of secondary. Beyond secondary education, I know there are a number of manifesto commitments in the field of tertiary, which is guaranteeing or is going to promise of fee-free level 100. If the nominee can shed some light on it, so that we'll be able to know what's going to happen in that area.
Thank you very much, Chair and members, and thank you, Honorable Minister. President Mahama and the NDC promise free tuition for students from level 100 who would undertake normal programs in the various public universities of our country, including what he has said expanded to private tertiary institutions. They number a population for which the country will require about 345 million Ghana cedis. Of the population of students who enter tertiary institutions, that is what the state will be required to do. We intend to provide that money to the affected universities, at least one to make refund to all those who have already paid those fees. But Chairman, the beauty of this is that it's open. Even parents who are still willing to pay can do so under this principle that has been introduced by the NDC. So we intend to mobilize with the Ministry of Finance some additional financing to cater for the population of students. It will be in the region of 125,000 as I look at it, and will provide 375 million Ghana cedis to support that. So every student who has paid will have a refund of his money, and the President intends to expand this over the years. Thank you.
Please proceed.
Honorable Chair, one of the areas that I will always be proud of as a former Minister for Education is the area of science, technology, engineering, mathematics education. Great progress has been made. Yes. And as measured...
Please address the Chair.
Chair, great progress has been made. It has been validated. It has been validated around the world. STEM education in Ghana. I want to ask the nominee what plan his soon-to-be ministry is going to do about STEM education.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members. Thank you, Honorable. The significant thing for the NDC and President Mahama, as far as education is concerned, is for us to contribute meaningful to our national sustainable development efforts. At the tertiary level, emphasis will be on access, quality, and relevance. At the secondary level, emphasis will be on foundational learning in order that we can produce critical thinkers for the future. There will be a review of pedagogy and curriculum at all levels of education to meet the country's aspirations into the future and for meaningful contribution to our national development effort. I should note the effort you have done in getting STEM. We intend to build, at least in every region of Ghana, a model STEM school, which will carry from kindergarten to senior high school to produce men for the future of work. We appreciate that going into the future, we will need to train more people in science, information and communication technology, and engineering. In that respect, our universities will be expected to relate more to industry without compromising their core academic objective training models. Thank you, Chair.
Any further questions?
Yes, please. Honorable Chair, this House has had an opportunity to approve GETFund formula, which have all lamented about capping and debate about uncapping. I want to know the opinion of the nominee. In the next budget coming up, what he intends to advocate for and push for in order to meet these aspirations of this House which has been around for a long time. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you for the question. And for me, also nostalgic. Those days in 1997, I was one of the strong advocates with many of our colleagues around here to advocate for the establishment of the GETFund. Before then, tertiary education was largely public funded. Tuition remained free. There was no access even to private tertiary institutions. The Ghana Education Trust Fund has done its part. In the last few years, it has suffered because of the decision of then Minister of Finance to cap it. President Mahama and the Minister of Finance have gone public, and I join them in saying that we will uncap the GETFund to free additional resources to support robust infrastructure development. Indeed, mathematically, cap GETFund today is about $3.2 billion Ghana cedis, 3.2 billion Ghana cedis. Uncap it will make available to the Ministry of Education some 7.9 billion, which will accelerate expanded infrastructure. For instance, there are about 2,800 schools that needs to be fixed to deal with the problems of overcrowding. There are about 26,000 schools which has no changing facility for young girls for purposes of hygiene. There are about 780 schools that is required to expand access to junior high school. We will uncap GETFund. I would engage the Minister for Finance to do this as a matter of expediency, and for the President to engage with the IMF to review the memorandum which included the GETFund in the negotiations. President Mahama has said that he will review the IMF. So part of the review will be to uncap the GETFund and free those additional resources to support the country to rely on GETFund resources to finance education generally, in particular higher education.
Please proceed.